Hi everybody, I'm Gary at Wendy Woo Tours, and a big Merry Christmas wish from all of us at Wendy Woo Tours to all of our wonderful travel agent partners. Thank you for joining us today on our online trade show. We can't wait to showcase all of our new tours and new destinations to you, as well as refreshing all of your memories about our Latin America program and our fantastic Europe, Middle East and new South Africa program too. So sit back, relax and enjoy everything Wendy Woo Tours, new destinations and some of your favourites.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, some of you, many of you will know Wendy Woo Tours, but I'm sure some of you are new and don't know who Wendy Woo Tours are. Lee, who are Wendy Woo Tours?
Well, big question, Andy, but in a nutshell, Wendy Woo Tours are the UK's #1 specialist touring company. We've been operating for over 25 years. We started out in China, and since then we've expanded almost all over the world. So now we operate all the way through Far East Asia, Southeast Asia, India and subcontinent, the Middle East, Europe, Africa and Latin America. So pretty much anywhere you want to go with our style of touring, we can take you there. And what we specialise in is fully inclusive touring. So everything's taken care of for you.
Lee, that term, fully inclusive, tell us what does it really mean?
Well, what it means, Andy, is that everything is taken care of for you. So when you book a tour with us, once it's booked and paid for, you don't have to worry about anything else. So your flights are included, your hotels are included, all of your meals, all of your sightseeing, your guiding, your entrance fees, and even your visas if you need one when you're going away. Absolutely everything you need is included. The only thing you might have to pay for locally is anything you need to do for shopping and any alcohol that you want to take in.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the new Latin America touring collection is out now. And if you haven't got your brochure already, do hit the Wendy Woo Tours website and order your brochure today. Now Lee, Latin America, big one, big continent. What are the absolute best sellers in this new collection?
Well, I'd say the most popular tours that we do, Andy, are probably 3 tours. We have Chile, top to toe, we have Panoramic Peru, and we have Ultimate South America. So Panoramic Peru takes in all of the highlights of this country. Starts out in Lima, so you'll see all of the colonial sites there, a really vibrant city, great fun to be in. You'll travel up into the highlands, you'll see Cuzco, Machu Picchu, all of the Inca heartlands around there. There's absolutely beautiful countryside up in the mountains. You'll travel on the Andean Explorer, a luxury train. It'll take you high over the Altiplano into Lake Titicaca. Again, a really beautiful cobalt lake high up in the hills, which is absolutely stunning. You'll travel down there into Arequipa, colonial city known as the White City because it's all made out of the local white stone, overlooked by these really towering volcanoes as well. And you'll see the Colca Canyon, one of the largest canyons in the world. So it's a panoramic Peru, so you get to see absolutely everything there is to see in Peru. It's a stunning tour. So lastly, really popular tour for people who want to tick off those sites on their bucket list, Ultimate South America, and it really is the Ultimate South America. So it's taking all of the highlights of Peru, Machu Picchu, Lima, Colca Canyon, and then actually travels down through into Bolivia. And from Bolivia into northern Chile, we travel through the Uyuni salt flats. Vast expanse, pancake flat, bone white, absolutely beautiful, lovely blue skies, some really fantastic photo opportunities there. Travel north, south into the northern part of Chile, Atacama Desert. And then from there, we hop over into Argentina. We see Buenos Aires, a fantastic city with this real Latin vibe, great buzz, real soul, beautiful city, almost like Paris down in South America, so gorgeous. There we travel then up to the Iguazu Falls, spectacular, makes Niagara look like a trickle of water, these thundering cascades coming down through the rainforests, and we finish up in Rio de Janeiro as well, probably one of the most exciting cities in the world. So this one is a tour for somebody who's really looking for the ultimate trip. This is the one. And just one more thing, a really exciting development is we have a brand new private tour in Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands. Now, private touring is very similar to our group touring in that we take all of our expertise, build this beautiful itinerary for you, expertly planned, with all the same inclusions. The only difference is you choose who you travel with and you choose what day you depart. So it's just you and your traveling companions. Now this tour takes in all of the fantastic wildlife of the Galapagos, so you'll get to see this incredible destination that's on many people's bucket lists, and then hops over into Ecuador, where you'll travel up through the Valley of the Volcanoes and see some of the most beautiful colonial cities, Cuenca and Quito. So you get to see those two sides of this fantastic destination, the colonial history and wildlife destination that really is like nowhere else on the planet.
Lee, so much to see, so much to do, absolutely loving it. Thank you so much for joining us today on this very special travel show.
You're very welcome, Andy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a really good one for you now. Yes, we are joined by Fiona. Fiona is one of the destination experts at Wendy Tours. Fiona, great to see you today.
Hi Andy, thanks for having me.
Amazing, amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Colombia. Yes, you heard it, Colombia. Fiona, Colombia is new. It's in the new Latin America brochure, I believe, for the first time, which is so exciting.
Yes Andy, you're right. It is new in our brochure. We're very excited to launch Colombia. It is one of the most famous countries within Latin America, so we're really, really excited to be showcasing it in our new brochure. So what it's offering is it's a 15-day tour, and it's covering your top sites within the country. We're starting off in Bogota. We then go across west into Pereira, which is the coffee region, and really, really great highlights of the tour. We then go a little bit up north to Medellin. Now everybody knows Medellin, I'm sure, from its history. We won't go into too much detail about that, but we do have a great 3-night stay in Medellin, seeing the top sites. We then go a little bit north, further north onto the coastline. It's the Caribbean now, into Santa Marta, and across to Cartagena, which everybody knows is the historical city, beautiful architecture, and really, really very popular, and one of the top cities to see in Colombia.
Now, Fiona, it sounds exciting, it sounds tremendous. Love it, love everything that's included, the cities, everything. But ladies and gentlemen, we know that Wendy Tours are renowned for authentic experiences, diving into the culture, the history. Fiona, what can we expect on this tour?
Andy, this tour is jam-packed with experiences. We've got so much for our guests. So let's start off with just outside Bogota. They're going to go and experience the Salt Cathedral, which is almost entirely built out of salt. Going across into the coffee region, you can't go there and not have a tasting at least. So they're going to go through one of the coffee plantations, learn about the production as well as a tasting. Going further around the country, just to list some of them, we've got drum playing and an authentic experience with that. We have rum tasting. They get to taste quite numerous amounts of flavors of rum. Going into Medellin, I think the highlight of the Medellin excursions is going to be that our guests visit Comuna 13. So they'll take a cable car up the mountain into this neighboring area within Medellin. And Comuna 13 is all about how this previously crime-ridden area has socially transformed itself into an art and modern district. It's really young and hippie, for want of a better word, and is really, really popular. Our guests will interact with the local women there who are all about the safety of women, how far they've come, but most importantly, how far this entire country as a whole has has transformed themselves. We also have in Cartagena, there's catamaran sunset cruises around the harbour, which is really, really awesome. And then of course let's not forget about the more interactive cooking demonstrations, musical entertainment along the way, and then there are 1 or 2 key meals that they'll participate in with the full authentic experience, mixing with the locals.
Fiona, sounds absolutely amazing. Wendy Wood Tours have certainly excelled on this one.
Yes, this is going to be a great one of our top sellers, I'm sure.
Amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can it get any better? Well, yes, it can. We had Colombia, now we have got Costa Rica, Fiona. New in the new Latin America collection, new for the first time, Wendy Wood Tours, Costa Rica. Fiona, tell us about this tour.
Andy, yes, Costa Rica. Can't wait for this to launch too. Obviously, I'm sure everybody knows Costa Rica or they've heard about it. It's all about the wildlife and there are loads of different experiences to be had. So a little bit of a info about this tour. It's a 14-day tour and we visit 5 different cities. So we start off in San Jose where we get a true authentic experience slightly outside of the city centre just to put you into more of a cultural experience. We then go up to Tortuguero, so to access the park, it's a little boat cruise across the canal into the national park itself. From there we're going to Arenal. Everybody knows Arenal, it's all about the volcano. And then across to Monteverde for the forests. From there we then go down south to Manuel Antonio, again for the national park experiences there.
And Fiona, as we've already touched on, Wendy Wood Tours, all about authentic experiences, ladies and gentlemen. What about the experiences in this tour, Fiona?
So this one has got lots of different experiences, I think mainly to highlight. So it is all about the wildlife, and what's great is that our guests get to experience it in various ways. From walking tours, hiking trails, they do boat safaris, they do night safaris, night walking tours. So they're getting the best possible opportunities to see all the wildlife. Over and above that, we've got immersive experiences. They do the Heart of Palm, which is learning about their local delicacy there. We do cooking demonstrations where they get to cook with authentic meals. We have lots of lectures with also about the Quaker history within the region. So there's meal experience on a floating restaurant, which is something new for our guests. So it's jam-packed, 15 days from start to finish, going to definitely be an unforgettable experience.
Fiona, sounds amazing. I'm signing up. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to go to Costa Rica now, don't we? Now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we're back again with the travel experts here at Wendy Wood Tours, and we've got one major travel expert for you now. Yes, it's Peter Crane, Global Product Director at Wendy Wood Tours. Peter, great to see you.
And you, Andy.
And as you know, we are celebrating all things fabulous and new here at Wendy Wood Tours today. And talking of, we've got the new Europe, Middle East and South Africa new touring collection. Peter, it's out, it's hot. What are the best sellers in this new collection?
Yes, Andy. Let's start by talking about our most popular tour in the Middle Eastern program, which is the tour that combines Egypt with Jordan. It's an 18-day tour. You can do 10 days in Egypt on its own, or you can do 8 days in Jordan on its own. But our most popular option that most of our customers are choosing is the combination of the two countries, because this tour combines literally every day is another highlight. They come thick and fast on this itinerary. We begin with 10 days in Egypt, starting with Cairo, which, as everybody knows, is the home of the Giza pyramids, also home to some of the most amazing pharaonic treasures anywhere in the world in the Cairo Museum. And we explore Old Cairo as well. Then we travel to Upper Egypt, to Luxor, which people describe as an open-air museum. Luxor is a place which is just packed with ancient antiquities. There are temples, the Valley of the Kings, the River Nile running languidly through the town. It's a really beautiful place and a fantastic place to spend 2 days exploring the key pharaonic treasures there. From Luxor, we get onto our five-star Nile cruise boat, and head upriver to Aswan, stopping en route at the temples of Edfu and Komombo on the way. Aswan, again, is a beautiful town with the Nile running through it, and from Aswan, we visit one of the greatest hidden highlights of Egypt. That's the temples of Abu Simbel, which were relocated when Lake Nasser was created by the construction of the Aswan High Dam. The whole temple complex of Abu Simbel was relocated block by block to higher ground to avoid it being drowned by the lake. A stunning sight. From there we return back to Cairo and transfer up to Jordan, to Amman, the capital of Jordan, where the Jordan section of this tour begins. Amman is the jumping off place to visit Jerash, which is one of the best preserved ancient Roman sites in the Middle East. And then from Jerash we travel southwards along the King's Highway, visiting various stops en route, but the key reason for travelling south is to visit Petra. Everybody's highlight of Jordan is Petra. We have 2 full days and 3 nights in Petra to take in the full majesty of this site, and it's a place that shouldn't be rushed. We explore it on foot, by daytime and by nighttime. We go in to see to experience a nighttime production called Petra by Candlelight. From Petra we travel south again into Wadi Rum, which is one of the most spectacular desert regions in the world. And in Wadi Rum we camp for a night in a luxury, well-appointed camp under the desert stars, surrounded by some of the most, as I said, some of the most gorgeous desert landscapes with rolling sand dunes and sheer granite cliffs all around us. We finish up with a visit to the Dead Sea, which is the lowest point on Earth. It's an opportunity to see the Dead Sea itself, which is spectacular, and to float on those very saline waters and have that really extraordinary feeling of floating on the water surface as if you're a cork. And that's the end of the trip. It's an 18-day tour, but as I said, absolutely packed. So the other new tour in our brochure this year is Treasures of Turkey. It's a 16-day tour in one of my favourite countries in the world. Turkey is just one of those fabulous places that combines the very best of everything. It's got the culture, the history, the food, the people, the music, the language to attract visitors. It's on the bridgehead, as we know, between Europe and Asia. And in fact, Istanbul, the capital city, is built right there on the Bosphorus, and it spans the 2 continents. A really unique place and a really unique country. A 16-day tour that starts and finishes in Istanbul. It's a tour that takes in all the key highlights of Western Turkey and also Central Turkey. It travels from Istanbul itself, ancient Constantinople, which was the capital first of the Byzantine Empire, but later the Seljuk Empire and the Ottoman Empire, and now the modern Republic of Turkey. Istanbul is a place that you could spend endless numbers of days, but we allow 2 full days to explore the city and then travel westwards to a place called Gallipoli. The Gallipoli Peninsula is where one of the fiercest battles of World War I took place, where many Australian, New Zealand and British troops were killed in the fights, and Turkish troops to fight to control this really strategic headland which controlled access to the Black Sea. From Gallipoli we head south to the Greco-Roman sites, first of Pergamum and then Ephesus. Ephesus is a place that people will have heard of because it's regarded as the best preserved Greco-Roman site anywhere in the Mediterranean. It's a place that you can wander through and literally visualize how the ancient people would have lived on those streets, in those houses, amongst those palaces, in the theatre, and so on. It's a really dramatically beautiful place, carved mainly from white marble. From Ephesus we travel inland to a place called Pamukkale up in the hills, famous for its white cascading terraced pools caused by natural calcification, and also home to an ancient Roman site called Hierapolis. So this was a spa town even in Roman days, and still a spa town today. From Pamukkale we head south to Antalya, which is on the Mediterranean coast of Turkey, and in Antalya we do a boat trip along the coast. We also visit Aspendos, which is, for most people, the best preserved of all the Roman theatres in the ancient world is there at Aspendos. A remarkable place, still fully intact. And from Aspendos we drive northeastwards up onto the Anatolian plateau, stopping first at a very traditional Turkish town called Konya, which was the home of the whirling dervishes, the Mevlana sect of Sufism in Turkey. We stop there to visit the Mevlana Museum, then continue northwards to Cappadocia. Cappadocia is one of those otherworldly places that you have to see to believe. It's a really dramatically beautiful landscape, created over thousands of years from eroded rockscapes. It's very soft volcanic rock that's been eroded by wind and by rain into really dramatic formations. And then from Cappadocia we travel onwards to Ankara, the capital of Turkey, where we spent a day visiting the mausoleum of Kemal Atatürk, the founder of the modern Republic of Turkey, and the ancient Museum of Anatolian Civilizations, which is one of the most amazing museums, I think, anywhere in the world. It has just a host of artifacts from all over Turkey. Finally, we travel back to Istanbul, where the tour ends. So it's a 16-day tour, and as you can tell, it's a tour packed full of highlights, a lot of history, lots of culture, but lots of landscapes and countryside too. And don't forget that Turkish cuisine, it is just fabulous.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new destination, the first time for Wendy Wu Tours, Saudi Arabia. Get that. Peter, Saudi Arabia, super excited about this one. Tell us about this tour.
Yeah, we are excited, Andy. We're really excited to take our groups and our concept of fully inclusive touring into a brand new destination, Saudi Arabia. It's a country that a lot of people are talking about at the moment. It's emerging, it's changing, it's a very dynamic country. Only 30 million people, but over half the population is under the age of 25. So it really is a youthful, vibrant country, and as I said, changing very fast. We want to take our tours there to learn about the history of the country, but also experience modern Saudi Arabia and how it's emerging into the 21st century. What we have is a 9-day tour, Andy. It's called Secrets of Saudi Arabia. It begins in Riyadh, the capital, and finishes in Jeddah on the Red Sea coast. It's an overland route through the northwestern part of the country, and it takes in what I think are the key highlights of Saudi Arabia in just 9 days. From Riyadh itself, we travel to Diriyah, the ancient capital of the Saudi clan, and then go on to Ushaigar, which is a small which used to be a small stopping point on the pilgrimage route to Mecca. In ancient times, before the pilgrims could travel by air, they used to travel overland, of course, and various points along this trip we'll stop in towns that were made famous by the pilgrim routes. We go to a place called Bureda as well, which is known for its camel market. This is the biggest camel market in the world, which is remarkable in a country like Saudi Arabia, which you associate with glitzy skyscrapers and 21st century oil wealth. They value their heritage, and the camels are very much part of their heritage. So learning about the camel markets and the heritage that comes with the camel caravans that used to go up and down the country in ancient times is very much part of this trip. Saudi Arabia is a very new country. It was only founded in 1932, so less than 100 years old. And it was just 4 years after it was founded that oil was discovered. And oil catapulted these ancient Bedouin communities into the 21st century. So that really is a remarkable thing to travel there and to witness how this country has basically transformed from nomadic Bedouin communities living in goat hair tents predominantly to a 21st century modern country with all the cars, the skyscrapers, the cities to go with it. From Buraydah we go to Juba, which is a really remarkable UNESCO protected site, famous for its the rock art. The 10,000-year-old rock paintings in this region are known throughout the world. And in fact, Saudi Arabia is known for one of the very earliest communities of humans on Earth. Humans, as we know, originated in Eastern and Southern Africa, but when they migrated across into Asia, Saudi Arabia was the crossing point. So some of those very earliest evidence of human existence and the rock art from this 10th century BC site are still in evidence today. From Juba we continue to what I think is the highlight of this trip. It's the region called Al Ula, which is it's a beautiful old town in itself, surrounded by some of the most dramatic and beautiful desert scenery in the whole of Saudi Arabia. But Al Ula is famous for its ancient Nabatean site of Hegra. Hegra is Saudi Arabia's answer to Petra in Jordan. Petra, as you know, is full of the rock-carved tombs and temples, and Hegra is exactly the same. It was built by the Nabateans in the 1st century AD. It was a key stopping point on the ancient spice route that connected the Mediterranean with the spice trading ports on the southern Arabian coastline. And Hegra is a place, unlike Petra, where you'd be able to travel and visit without too many other people there. It's pretty much, well, it's very much unheard of compared with Petra, but similar to look at. From Al Ula, we continue southwards to Medina, which, as you probably know, is one of the holiest cities in Islam. In fact, it's the second holiest city in the Islamic world after Mecca, and the third city is Jerusalem. But Medina is a place that's been closed for Christians for many, many years, recently been open to Christians. We can now travel to, or non-Muslims should I say, we can travel to most of the parts of the city. There are just a few key shrines and mosques in the centre of Medina that are off limits to non-Muslims, but most of the city can be visited. So we visit Medina, and then we travel from Medina on to Jeddah, the end point of this trip, by bullet train, which is a recently constructed bullet train track, and finished the tour at Jeddah. Jeddah is a beautiful place on the Red Sea coastline. It's a modern city, but at the heart of the city is Al Balad, which is the old town of Jeddah, UNESCO protected, narrow streets and lattice windows and doorways, wooden windows and doorways, and the houses there are built of coral rock, which is quite unusual. So it's a sort of a little enclave of old Jeddah surrounded by the shiny new modern city. It's a short trip, it's only 9 days, but as I said, it does encompass all the very best that Saudi Arabia has to offer.
Peter, that all sounds absolutely fantastic, amazing. Haven't we enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen? Peter, great to see you as always on the Travel Show. We'll see you again.
Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I promised you at the start of the show, this show's all about new destinations, and it cannot get any better than this. Yes, this is the big one, brand new South Africa. Fiona, I know this is very close to your heart. South Africa, tell us about this tour.
So Andy, yes, it is obviously very close to my heart, and I'm super excited to be launching this for Wendy Woo Tours. South Africa is one of the top selling destinations currently, and we're glad to be on board with it. This is going to be the most awesome experience for our guests. So we start off in Johannesburg, and then we go up into an area called Mpumalanga. It's known as the Panoramic Route, and that's just outside the Kruger National Park, where our guests will have a night. We'll then go into the Greater Kruger. A little bit of emphasis there around it is the fact that it is the Greater Kruger National Park, so it's a private game reserve, which is our key selling pointer, is that our guests get a unique private experience. From there, we'll go back into Johannesburg to fly to the coast. We're flying to Port Elizabeth, which everybody's familiar with, or commonly known as Quibeja. From there, we start going down the eastern coast, known as the Garden Route, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with. So from Port Elizabeth, we're going down into Knysna for 2 nights to have an experience there along the way to Cape Town. So we'll then spend 4 nights in Cape Town before the end of the tour.
Wow, Fiona, I know that you're loving this. Tell us those authentic experiences. I bet there's quite a few in this one.
There is quite a few, and I could talk forever, but let's start off with the main ones. As I said earlier, the biggest highlight for our guests is going to be the private game reserve. So what that means is that our guests have a private experience. They're not in the Kruger National Park itself, so there'll be no public vehicles on the roads. They'll have basically acres and thousands of acres to themselves. It is part of a concession, so there'll be one of, say, 20 vehicles at any given time. They'll have early morning safaris, they'll have late night safaris, and absolutely spectacular game viewing opportunities within this private reserve. Heading down to Knysna, there's lots there for our guests. It's a waterfront city town, and in Knysna they're going to do the Featherbed Eco Experience. So for our guests there, Knysna has 2 heads. One is residential and one is totally an eco estate, and they get to spend the day there going through the forest. They have a lovely picnic lunch on the head. It's a tractor ride too along some of the roads there, and a little ferry across onto the island itself. So, and then in Cape Town's going to be jam-packed. Yes, we have a Table Mountain experience, and that is weather dependent, but over and above that, they're going to do the Cape Peninsula, which is the southernmost point. They'll do Boulders Beach, which is known for its penguins. We have a fantastic immersive experience in a restaurant where it's a 14-course meal where they get to taste the best of meals that South Africa provides. A lot of entertainment and traditional dancing and drumming. Another highlight, or another emphasis, is to say that we have got 3 nights where there's no dinners included, and there's a reason behind that, and that is because South African food is absolutely to die for. So we've left the 3 dinners out for our guests to choose their own restaurants. They will be ideally located in the waterfront area already of Cape Town. Loads of restaurants, loads of different opportunities and experiences for them, and I think they'll be able to get the best value of this tour.
Wow, Fiona. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, that new tour, the new destination, South Africa, is in the new Europe, Middle East and South Africa collection. If you haven't got your brochure already, hit the website and make sure you get it. Fiona, it's been fantastic. We are so excited about these destinations. I love it. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks, Andy. We can't wait for these tours to sell.
enjoyed our show this morning, and I hope it's given you lots of information and maybe some ideas about who you could promote some of our wonderful tours to. If you would like to join us in the lounge, then please, in a few minutes, I'm going to give you some instructions as to what to do there. For now, maybe just to say that we have some fantastic offers on through until the 22nd of December. We have up to £500 off many of our tours, particularly for the new destinations that have been launched. Of course, then we'll be switching over to our Peaks campaign. So watch for details on our Peaks campaign. It'll be launching from the 26th of December. As well as that, for January, we've got a fantastic brand new agent incentive scheme where we'll be giving away a lot of prizes and even possibly a holiday. Watch this space. For now, please scroll down, come and join myself and the BDMs in the after show lounge. Any questions you've got, any ideas you want to discuss, anything at all you'd love to talk to us about, please press the red button and come and join us.